Hey, what's going on YouTube? Welcome back to another episode of Calvin Lim Investing. It is a wonderful, beautiful Sunday here in San Francisco, California. And today we're going to be going through sort of my game plan for the upcoming week. We're going to be looking at a couple of charting plays for the week. And let's get right to it. So before we get started, just a couple of key things to note. As always, I'm not a financial advisor or an expert, so please contact one before you really begin to invest. Next of all, although I do chart out tickers, always do your own due diligence before you buy or sell a security. Finally, if you want to scroll down, smash the subscribe and like buttons. I definitely appreciate the support I can get. I do really enjoy all the feedback, so if you want to leave any comments, questions, I'm always happy to look at those and respond. Alright, without further ado, let's get started. So the first ticker we're going to be looking at is going to be Tesla. This is one of my all-time favorites to trade because as I've gotten better with technical analysis, I've been a lot more successful with trading Tesla. So first off, I think Tesla is sort of at a really nice wedge. We're looking at this from the 15-minute. So if you want to look back at May 7th, I got a little downward line here, and then from the bottom at the 544 mark, it's right here. Right, so that's one way I got it. The other one for the more recent would be here. To here, right? Let's see, we can scroll a little bit. So these are the sort of the two patterns that I really see at the moment. It looks like every time in the recent weeks when Tesla hits this line, it bounces straight back up, and you can see the top of the line is at 616, 613, around that area. So my game plan would be if Tesla does break this, let's see, this area right here, the 622 mark, I may grab some calls. It needs to hold above that, but if it really breaks this mark, there's a couple of resistance levels, and then if it breaks the 635 area, it has a gap to fill. So you can see that it could run all the way back to the 660s. So that's another play that I'm looking at for this upcoming week. Tesla options are a little bit on the pricier side because of the stock has a tendency to move, $10, $15, $20 in any given day in any given direction. So Tesla is going to be one of the tickers that I'm looking at for this week. I do trade Tesla quite a bit. They're really great for scalping, for swing trading, and for day trading. So it's one of my favorite tickers to trade as I've gotten a little bit more experienced. The next stock I'm going to be looking at is going to be NIO, another EV. So NIO had a really nice breakout on Friday. Let's actually go look at a longer time frame. Let's look at the daily. Right, so this is a really clean formation for NIO. What I see is that this could sort of be a level of resistance. It went up there after this first dip, couldn't hold it. When it's back up here on Friday, it couldn't hold it. If it pushes above that next week, it could definitely have a lot of room to run. So this is another play I'm looking at for NIO. The other reasoning is that there was some type of level of resistance right here, it feels like, but it didn't really hold, so NIO just kind of took off. So for right here, this is going to be the this is sort of the line I'm looking at. I'm going to see if I can get an entry if NIO pops up and holds above that $46.21 mark. So in that case, I'd probably grab either longer dated calls or something deeper in the money for this week. I have a tendency to play in the money calls versus far out of the money. I do enjoy playing in the money calls because you have less of a time decay and a time premium. and you're basically getting about 80 cents for each dollar the stock goes up. You have a lot nicer delta, although your percent gains might not be as crazy as buying something out of the money. So next off, we also have Apple. Unlike FANG, Apple has kind of lagged in the last couple of months. This is the daily. You can see that let's change this to the 15-minute because I do like the 15-minute for trading. You can see that Apple has kind of been a little stuck recently, So let's see. I got right here. It's kind of a little line. Right there. And I'm thinking if it breaks out above this, it could push up some more. As you can see, Apple has been trading in a pretty big range for the most part. In the last, let's move out to the, it's been in the last month or two, it's been trading, this is kind of the top, and this is kind of the bottom. It's been really range bound right here ever since this dip below 130, and a break above this 128. I feel like it could recapture this 131 area pretty efficiently. So I will be looking for a break on this pattern, and then another move would be breaking above the 128, and that's when I'll really grab either some in the money calls or some shares for Apple. I definitely see this being more of a longer dated play. So if you were to grab calls, I definitely would suggest grabbing something with at least a month of time left. Let's see. So this is what I see on Apple. It's a pretty little nice wedge triangle right here. If it breaks out above it, you might have some room to run, but really this 128 is sort of the line that I'm going to be watching at. The next stock I have is going to be Square. Let's see, these are old charting lines, so let me get rid of these. So let's see, in the last 3 weeks, Square has kind of been trading in a range as well. This is the bottom, and then this is the top. But in this last couple of weeks, it's been just going chop, going sideways. There's really not much, so I will be looking for a break of either this area. So it didn't hold it above it, so if it breaks 221, I would like to see it hold above that mark for another potential gap fill to the 227, and then maybe a possible breakout. So Square is a very intriguing company to me in the near term because of a lot of reopening. Square does a lot of small business merchant processing from coffee shops to your local restaurants. Square has a vital role in the dining industry as well as the point of sale retail industry for a lot of smaller businesses, especially food trucks, local coffee shops, as I mentioned, bakeries. A lot of those smaller companies, or smaller stores, they do utilize Square. So with the economy reopening, I definitely see a lot of potential for Square in the near term. I'm going to be keeping a very close eye on this. I feel like now if it can hold above this 221 mark for a day or close above it, I definitely feel really confident about grabbing some longer dated calls. I do own a couple hundred shares of Square, so just a disclaimer, I do own share stock, and I technically probably shouldn't buy calls of a stock I own, but because the chart does look really appealing to me, I'm going to be keeping a close eye. And I'm a huge fan of Square. I think they're always at the forefront of innovation. So this is one company that I'm going to be watching carefully for an entry, but I'm also not going to be too worried about making the right move with Square. If the opportunity doesn't present itself, I will just sit on the sidelines and watch. So if Square does pop up above that and I do miss my entry signal, I'm not too worried because I do have shares, but I do plan on trying, or at least attempting to play square calls in the next couple of weeks. It's like most of my other stocks, it's either going to be a quick trade for a little breakout, or it's going to be a longer dated swing. Next of all, I have I'm going to have gray. This is probably one of the only short squeeze stocks that I have on my list that I'm going to be trading. So the chart does not look too great at all. You see this huge decline from a pop all the way up here, but let's see. But this right here kind of has me a little confident. I did enter right around here, so I am up about 30 cents per share. I bought shares, not calls, because of the high implied volatility. But basically my plan is I'm going to see if it holds this pattern, if it has a continued melts up or a small or trending up, and then I'm going to be setting a following stop loss in the gains. So as the price moves up, my stop loss will continue to move up ever so slightly, so that if there is a dip, my stop loss will trigger somewhere in the gains, and I'll be able to have a solid amount of profit. So gray hasn't looked too great in a little bit, but if you look on the 1 day, at one point they were pretty high up there, but they have been sort of in no man's zone. The bottom was probably about $3.45, it looks like. So this is definitely more of a riskier trade, something that I typically don't really do. But you know, with all the hype around short squeezes, I thought, hey, this might be a good opportunity to jump in. I did make a solid profit last week on Wish and some other short squeeze quote-unquote meme stocks. So this is another one that I think has a decent chance at least moving up a couple of bucks. You can see that the volume just really picked up in the last 2 days, which has me confident that there is going to be a continuation of a breakout. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for tuning in today to Calvin Lim Investing. These are just a couple of the plays that I'll be making, or that I'm currently in for the upcoming week, and a couple of charting options and what I kind of feel and see as I prepare for the next trading week. If you would like me to do analysis on a specific ticker, please feel free to drop a comment and mention the ticker, and I'll try to do a video for you and chart it out and give you my 2 cents on either a ticker or a fund or anything you want me to take a quick look at. So with that being said, if you want to show a little bit of support, smash the like and subscribe button. I definitely really appreciate it, and I hope to see you guys around.